You are listening to Did You Hear?
Did you hear?
Did you hear?
Did you hear? The Johnson County Library Podcast.
This is your Library Insider.
Hey everybody, it's Jamal with the Weekly Word.
Myriad, a countless or extremely great number.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Did You Hear? I'm Dave Carson and this is your Library Insider. I'm not alone. I have some people with me and I am going to ask them to introduce themselves, where they work, and what they do.
Hi, I'm Austin. I am one of the interlibrary loan clerks here at the Central Resource Library.
Hi, Austin.
Hi, Dave.
And I am Devin. I am one of the clerks at the Central Resource Library.
Hi, Devin.
Hey.
And I'm Rachel. I'm also one of the circulation clerks at the Central Resource Library.
And somebody has a phone, but that's okay. We'll work around that, I'm sure. So for you, the listener, I have some questions for you. Are you looking for something to do? Have you just been watching just about everything you could possibly watch in Hulu or Netflix, or you've used our really great library services like Canopy or Acorn TV, or maybe you've even checked out the National Theatre of the United Kingdom? That is pretty impressive as well. But maybe you want something a little more interactive. Maybe you need more than a book or streaming videos. Well, we have a suggestion for you, and that is to go to jocolibrary.org, click on events, and visit our online events. It's a really great way for you to interact with other people, and you can simply type in a search term of something that's of interest to you and see if we have an event that is to your liking. One thing that you might type into our search box is the term gaming. And that's what we're here to talk about today. And that's why we have guests. We're going to talk a little bit about gaming. And so one online gaming opportunity we have here at the library is one that, well, I've never even ever played in my entire life. I'll have to be honest with you. But I got kind of curious about it after I started watching the epic 80s sci-fi series Stranger Things. And I've been pretty intrigued about the role-playing game Dungeons and Dragons. So here's a quick quiz for all the folks that are on this recording. I'm going to read you some lyrics, and let's see who, if you can name the band and the song, then you win the Ultra Prize Package Deluxe, which is totally unknown and secret, but since it is unknown and secret, you know it's pretty awesome.
Ooh.
All right. So the song starts
Shiny.
out, I've got a Dungeon Master's Guide. I've got a 12-sided die. I've got Kitty Pryde and Nightcrawler 2 waiting there for me. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I've got posters on my wall. My favorite rock group, Kiss. I've got Ace Frehley. I've got Peter Criss waiting there for me. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Can you name the group or the song?
I believe that is Beverly Hills by Weezer.
No, you got the
Oh.
band right though.
Dang
The
it.
name of the
Is it
song is
In the
is
Garage?
In the Garage. Very good. It's off of Weezer's very first album, the Blue Album. So I'm afraid to say no one gets to walk away with the new car.
Oh no!
That might not be true. All right.
Well, I also
Well,
love you don't
I'll
mention
remember
there's a real
this.
car, a toy car.
so to
It's a
talk
toy Yoda.
about what Dungeons and Dragons or D&D is and how the library makes this event happen online, we have Austin to talk to us about that. So Austin, I found this listing for D&D in our events calendar, and it says, play Dungeons and Dragons with us online. This will be a low barrier to entry journey into the world of role-playing games, problem solving, creative thinking, communication, interpersonal skills, online communication skills will be at the forefront of the program. So let me ask you, why D&D?
Well, I think it's a lot of fun. It's a great time to hang out with your friends or even meet new people and just kind of go through a shared storytelling experience that it can be a lot of different things. It can go from just completely irreverent and silly to like, very serious and like very Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings style type of stuff. So
Oh,
it's just
very good.
yeah, it's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and it seems to really fit in with our summer reading theme, which is Imagine Your Story, which is a nod to fantasy, fairy tales, anything that really conjures up the imagination. So I'm taking it that this game requires a lot of imagination.
It is almost entirely imagination actually, especially online. There are some like web services where you can like see like a shared mat and like look at images together and move little tokens around on a screen, but we're not doing that because this is an audio podcast, so it's all just going to be theater of the mind.
Okay, so if I go to the calendar and I find the Dungeons and Dragons entry for the event and I say, hey, I want to register. Once I register, what happens from there? Do I need to download any software? Am I going to be sent anything?
Actually, I don't really know. I'm not part of this program, but
Oh,
there's shockingly little you need to actually play Dungeons and Dragons. It's at most, at least you just need some dice, and there's
uh-huh.
programs online that'll do dice for you, so you don't even need dice.
Ah, okay. Well, I will tell you this. I do know the answer to that question,
Oh, you
and
do?
it's going to be a Zoom program. And
Ooh.
so the event entry says you don't have to download anything. You just have to be able to participate in a Zoom call, which, because of COVID-19, so many of us are very, very familiar with that. Um, and then, as far as the uh, what will be sent to you once you register, you're going to be sent a PDF with instructions. And I think that's what you have already provided me, Austin, that tells
I
you,
provided you, yeah, it provides some basic information about rules, like
okay,
what basic term means. Like a d20 is like slang for a 20-sided die, which is what you're
aha,
going to be rolling the most of during this.
I see. Okay.
Yes.
Well,
It's
let
kind of
me
like
ask,
a glossary of terms.
bef- okay, but before we dive into all of this, I do have a question for all of you. So, Devin and Rachel, how long have you played this game, and what piqued your interest and got you started?
Yeah, I started playing my last year of college, and I was inspired by the TV show Community. They did a couple Dungeons and Dragons style episodes, so I
Ah,
thought I'd check it out. And then I got ambitious really fast and decided I don't need to worry about playing. I can just run the game. And kind of dove in headfirst from there and bit off a little more than I could chew, but it's been a good learning curve and a good experience.
neat.
For me, I only just started playing D&D this year. My first campaign was underneath Devin as the dungeon master, and then started playing under Austin as the dungeon master.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I do some gaming myself, and I've gone to a place called Pawn and Pint in Kansas City, downtown Kansas City. That it's they have a lot of board games, unlimited number of board games you can check out and play with your friends. But I always notice there's this board that has a dungeon master and sign-ups, and so people will, that don't even know each other will sign up to play under, some dungeon master and play this game, and they always look like they're having fun. So, my next question, Austin, is this, and what are the rules? What are the, what's the equipment? How do we do this?
Well, it's the basic equipment are dice and imagination. It's what you're doing is you have your character, and they have a bunch of numbers assigned to their various abilities and stuff they can do, like how strong they are or how smart they are. And you roll a 20-sided die and you add numbers to it to determine a mixture of luck and skill in how you do things. There's also lots of books on it, but really you only need like one copy of the player's handbook, and even then that's kind of optional as long as someone knows the rules, and you can look. There's a lot of stuff available pretty easily online too.
So you are you called the dungeon master in this in our instance
Yes.
today? Okay, so how much do you help the participants? Because I'm going to be honest with you, I'm nervous. I've never done this before.
Oh, you don't need to be nervous. But more or less, as the dungeon master, what I do, I'm like a weird mix of narrator and referee.
Okay.
It's you guys are playing your characters, and I am kind of narrating and determining events that happen in the world around them. So you get to make all of your own decisions, and I just get to react to them and try and figure out what is going on. If you like pull a lever or decide to like swing from a chandelier, I get to help determine what happens when that happens.
Okay. So I'm excited for us to get started, but do we first kind of share what our roles are and all of that, or is that part of the game?
Oh, we can go ahead and introduce our characters. I think we can start off with Devin, then Rachel, and then Dave. You can introduce the character we made for you.
Sounds good.
Yeah, sure. I am gonna be playing Delia Cedarheart, and she is a Eladrin sorcerer. So she's kind of like a high elf, but a little bit more woodsy than what you would see in like Lord of the Rings, like literal leaves in her hair, and her like skin will change color based on her mood, and it will reflect kind of the seasonal patterns that you might see in the world.
Very good. I heard you go into a little bit of a voice there. Is that part of this?
Yeah, that's part of it. I personally think that having a voice, even if you're not very good at voices, it helps you
Uh-huh.
get into your character, and it kind of helps you differentiate when you, the character, are talking, or when your character is talking and then others can react to what she's saying.
Very good. Oh, how fun. Okay. Who's next?
That would be me. My character is Nicolind. She is a half orc, and she is a bard. So she is basically just here to play black metal and rock out.
And is that it? Do we need to know anything else about your character? And do you have a voice?
I do not have a voice, but that's because I'm terrible at voice acting.
Okay. That's all right.
Yeah, you don't really need a voice, but they are fun. I'm going to be doing lots of voices, so brace yourselves
Oh,
for some bad
great. That
accents.
sounds awesome. Well, I guess that brings me to that brings it to me. I am Lao, and I am a goblin. I am rogue 1 class and level. I have 0 experience points, which that sounds right. That sounds exactly right. And my background is I'm an urchin.
Yes, so you were raised on the mean streets.
And I suppose if I'm a goblin, my voice would be like this. So that's what I'm going to go with.
Excellent.
Well, lead the way, Austin.
So if we can get started. On a recent adventure, you found a small locked box in the summit of a giant toad that you slew that was terrorizing a nearby swamp. This plain dark wood box is magically locked, but you noticed on the bottom of it a note inscribed that said, "If found, return to the wizard Raymond Castleshine for a handsome reward." Fortunately, you know what town he is in, and you found his tower at the edge of the village of Widdershins. And then the three of you approach the wizard's tower. It is a round, squat building made of gray stone, and it's just atop of a low hill outside of town. There is one door at the front and no windows, and on the door is a large brass knocker in the shape of an owl. And sitting next to the door is a fluffy white cat asleep in the sunshine next to the door. What do you do?
Ooh. So we collaborate, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let the more experienced people
I'm gonna
lead
walk
the way.
forward. I'm gonna walk forward and I'm gonna go try and pet that cat.
Okay, you pet the cat. You notice it's got a collar on, and his name is Butterbean. And you scratch the cat, and he purrs and rolls over and kind of makes that weird cat chirping noise, that brrr type thing, and starts purring. He is still fast asleep.
I am going to inspect the door for any arcane sigils or anything that might cause problems for us if we were to like knock or touch it.
It doesn't look like it's magically warded in any way to harm you guys.
Well, should we just knock then?
Okay, you knock on the door.
Let's knock on the
and-
door.
You knock on the door, and
Knocky,
the
knocky.
knocker blusters. The wonderful and powerful wizard Raymond Castleshine is doing his very important work, and will not be expecting visitors until afternoon. You'll notice on the clock it is actually closer to 3 o'clock, so... It's like, leave any messages with Butterbean, if you have any questions.
Who's
Butterbean, do you speak common? Or like a
Butterbean
magic
is the
cat?
white fluffy cat.
Oh.
Yes, I can speak. But it is the best time of day for napping, so please do leave me alone.
I will give you more scritches behind the ears if you please hear what we have to say.
Oh, I will allow you to scratch me behind the ears. You may speak your piece.
Yes, we have this box, and I'm gonna pull it out from wherever we've been keeping it, that says it needs to be returned to Raymond Castleshine, and that there was a reward?
Oh, do you suppose there's any tuna fish in that box?
I can't imagine why there wouldn't be.
Well, if you are willing to split the tuna fish with me, I suppose I can let you in to see the wizard. Cat walks up to the door, and as the cat approaches, it unlocks and opens, and it shows your way into his little entry hall. It is a well-appointed room. You can see it's got big plush couches, red carpet, but it is very dusty and cluttered with his wizarding projects. You see alchemical sets set up with bottles half full and some knocked over. You'll see dishes just set out and books everywhere. This place is very untidy. It's like, I suppose the wizard is in his laboratory. It's next to his office through the library. You can't miss it. It's down the hall. If you'll excuse me, I will be going back to sleep until you can provide me with tasty, tasty tuna snacks.
Okay, see you later,
Much
Butterbean.
appreciated. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. I walk down the hall towards the library.
Very good.
Okay, you head down the hall, and you thought that the entry room was messy. The library is messier. There's stacks of books, piles of notes just strewn about everywhere. There's not a surface that does not have a pile of books upon it. And then you see around the room some ghostly blue figures floating around, picking things up slowly and trying to put them away, but they are not making much progress. You also see a sign on the door that says, please, please, underlined, be quiet in the library. How do you proceed across this room?
I'm
Well,
gonna stay
quietly.
Right. I'll stay really close to the orc with my 7 hit points. And try to be as quiet as possible.
Can I lift the little goblin over my head?
Yes.
And I have 10
Do you
hit
allow her to lift you?
I have 10 hit points. This wizard sure looks like he could be on Hoarders.
All right. So I'm gonna
Lifting
ask
the
anyone
goblet
who's
up. We're going to gently move forward very quietly.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
going to need to make everybody going through to make a stealth roll. So what you're doing when you're making an ability roll is you're going to take your 20-sided die and you're going to roll it, and there'll be a little chart in your character sheet that's got your skills, and you're going to add your stealth to it. Go ahead and roll those and tell me the total you got.
Nicolen's
got
got a
a
17.
I got a 17.
I'm sorry, you got Dave. You got a
17. And my name is
Excellent.
Lau. My name is Lau.
sorry. Okay, Lau, you are very sneaky. You're actually, you're a rogue. You're a very accomplished thief and scoundrel and sneak about. So you managed to sneak across the room without disturbing these piles of books and angering the ghostly librarians who would have thrown books at you for disturbing their quiet. And you make it through there, and you see his office. There is a large statue of an owlbear with a towel monogrammed with an M hanging on it in his office. One wall is just covered in scraps of paper with a web of red string linking the various parts. And there you see another door with a large painting of a sphinx upon it at the other side.
I wonder what's on that board with all that red thread. I'd like to go investigate it.
Well, you go and investigate it. You see that he... Go ahead and make a nature roll. See how well you know animals.
14.
14? Oh, yes, he is trying to track the migratory patterns of the arboreal flump and not having much success.
Well, at least he's trying. Props for that.
Yep. Okay.
Should we investigate the owl?
Yes, you see a large owl bear, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's a bear with the head of an owl and feathers down its front legs and big talons. But this is just a statue of one. And you see, hanging upon one of its arms is this towel monogrammed with an M, and in its other talon is a coin.
I would like to approach and look for any sort of enchantment on it.
It is magically enchanted to be free of dust, but beyond that, there is no enchantment upon it.
Well, it's not magical. Does the coin look like it can be pried out of the hand?
Yeah, you can pick up the coin. It's a single gold piece.
Oh, that's nice. I'm going to put that in my pocket.
Excellent. Add that to your inventory. You have stolen a coin.
Now, what's this door with a sphinx on it?
All right. As you approach the door, the Sphinx stands up and says, "Mr. Castleshine is a very busy man, but I suppose I could let you into his laboratory if you can prove your wits by solving my 3 riddles. Are you ready for
God.
my riddles?"
Oh no.
Well, let's hear him.
What has a head and a tail but no body?
A coin.
Correct. And the
Ooh,
second
that's a good
riddle.
one.
That was
What?
a good one.
What gets wetter as it dries?
A sponge.
Correct. And the final one, and this is the most devilishly difficult one I can think of. What appears once in a minute, twice in a moment, and never in 1,000 years?
Is it the letter M?
Curses, you've solved all of my riddles. Well, I suppose I'll have to let you in then. And the door swings open, and you see in the laboratory a wizard on top of a bookshelf swinging around his staff. He's got his big pointy hat on, a long white beard, and some wizard robes embroidered with silver stars and moons. And he is on top of his bookshelf, swinging his wizard staff at 2 animated brooms and a mop who are trying to attack him. Now, we're on to combat, so everybody needs to roll initiative. You can see that kind of at the top in the middle of your character sheet. Initiative determines how fast you're going when you're trying to fight something.
Ooh, I got
I'm a
10.
+3.
So roll a d20 and add 3 to it.
That's a 16.
I rolled a 14. So 17. Not quite sure when I'm supposed to use my character voice.
It's okay. You can use it. You can use it whenever you want to.
You can talk however you want.
And sorry, Rachel, what did you get?
I got a 10.
10. Okay, well,
I'm a little slow on the uptake, apparently.
Lau gets to go first. Now, combat is a little different. What you're going to do, there's 2 brooms and a mop in front of you. Now you can move up to one and you can make an attack, which is, you should have on your sheet, under attacks, right underneath your hit points, you'll see basic attack. You can attack with a rapier, a short bow, or a dagger.
Okay.
So, which do you want to attack with?
The rapier.
Okay, you draw your rapier and rush forward. Do you want to attack a broom or the mop?
I hate mops.
Yes, mops.
Right?
You see, it's a disgusting mop. It's got covered in filthy mop water. Okay, you rush forward, and roll a 20-sided die, and you're going to add your weapon attack bonus, which is 5, to try and hit this mop.
Okay. Oh, I only rolled a 4. So 9.
You swing your rapier at the mop, and you miss it. The mop notices you now.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Next,
Uh-oh.
Devin, it's your turn.
Yes, I will aim for one of the brooms and cast Firebolt, which is a 21 to hit.
You hit the broom.
5 fire damage. And I believe if the object is flammable, it ignites.
It does. This broom catches fire in this laboratory. You can see the broom starts to rush around because it's on fire, and the smoke alarms don't even go off. You are not very certain about the safety of this lab.
Mm-hmm.
That finally leads to Rachel. It's your turn.
I would like to rush forward and swing my battle axe at the other broom.
Okay, swing your battle axe.
I got a 17.
17 hits.
Right. 7 damage.
7 damage. Okay. All right. Now it's the brooms and the mop's turn. The broom that you hit with the fire does not manage to put itself in its rushing about. In fact, the fire gets worse as it rushes about, and then it collapses into a heap of ashes. So the first one broom has died, but the mop is now going to try and attack Lau. It swings its mop water at you, and now it's going to try and hit your armor class, which is 14, but it manages to hit an 18. So you've been hit by this mop. So you're going to take 2 damage. So subtract that from your hit points. You're down to 8. And
That's why I hate mops.
because some of the mop water got into your mouth, so you're going to have to make a Constitution saving throw. It'll be
It
on
ain't
the
easy being a
left.
goblin.
Yep. So you're going to have to make a Constitution saving throw to resist being poisoned by mop water.
So I need to throw.
That's just disgusting.
Yeah, roll a 20-sided die and add 2 to it.
Oh, I rolled a 1.
Oh, a 1 all fails. It's known as a critical failure. So, some of the mop water got in your mouth, and you just feel sick. And
I
even- you
hate
get
mops.
you get even greener, even though you're a goblin, and start to feel a bit queasy. You have been poisoned, which means when you're on your next turn, you're going to be rolling with disadvantage, which means you're going to roll 2 20-sided dice and use the lower result for your attacks.
Oh.
And finally, a broom goes after our bard. And it gets a 15. Does that hit you?
Yes, it does.
This broom wallops you thoroughly on the head for 3 damage.
How?
See, the wizard up on his shelf says, "Dreadful things, aren't they?"
It'd be fine if it weren't so dusty.
And then we're back up to the top, and it's Lau's turn again.
Okay. So, am I going to try to attack the mop?
Yep. Attack the mob.
Good, because I hate mops.
So-
I hate mops. Really hate mops. So I
Get 'em, Lau!
roll 2. Do I roll both my 20-sided die?
Yep. Roll both of them and use the lower number.
Okay. And then I add 2?
You add 5 to it.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, oh man. The lower number is 2.
Oh.
Cursed
You try your
dies.
best, but
They're in league
get
with
that
the mop.
that mop water is just so gross. But don't worry, at the end of your turn, you get to make a save to see if you stop being grossed out by the mop water you got in your mouth. So roll another Constitution save.
Okay. 7.
7. Ugh, you can't quite shake it. It was so gross. How does you've never gotten mop water in your mouth before, but it is just the worst. Still feeling a little sick, but don't worry, you'll shake it soon. I believe in you. Next, it's Devin's turn.
Well, this mop seems to be a real problem, so I am going to cast Chromatic Orb and try to do some cold damage to it. That is a 22.
That hits.
And then a 17 cold damage.
You hit this mop with your burst of cold energy, and all of the water in it freezes in a moment, and it just falls to the ground and shatters like a dropped vase or vase. This is fancy, a dropped vase.
Nice.
And the mop is no more.
Take that, you mop.
Okay, and Rachel, the last broom stands before you combatively. It's your turn.
How far away is this broom and me from the other two?
You're about 20 feet away. It's not a very big room.
Okay, I want to cast Thunder Wave.
You cast it. Okay. Let's see. You cast Thunderwave. I believe it needs to make a saving throw of some kind, doesn't it?
Yes.
There's a big list of spells at the back that no one in their right mind has memorized, so I'm going to look that up really fast.
Constitution.
Constitution 13, yep.
Okay,
Lau
it's
has an
underway.
editorial note at this point. Some people fight demogorgons, and we fight mops.
Well, your first level. It's like you're not. You guys
We're
will
not
be
quite
like,
there yet.
big heroes eventually, but you guys are. A mop is a really tough challenge for you guys.
I mean, obviously, if you're over there choking on mop water.
Apparently.
Okay, it failed its save.
Yes!
Haha.
And that's 2d8 thunder damage and push 10 feet away.
Okay, roll your damage.
Oh, 7 and 7. So 14.
Okay. As the bard squares up this broom, pulls out her electric guitar, and shreds some wicked metal.
Yes!
Yeah. And the broom cracks and shatters, and just a shower of straw begins just floating gently down from where the broom once was. You guys have defeated the brooms and the mop threatening the wizard castle shine.
Woohoo!
Wow!
He pops down
Victory
and says,
medal!
yeah. He pops down and says, oh, thank heavens you showed up when you did. You see, I had gotten rather behind on my cleaning, as you can tell, and I just got so engrossed with my research about the migratory patterns of the arboreal flump, and, well, I just lost track of... Oh, anyway, I decided to animate some brooms and a mop to do my cleaning for me, like I'd seen in this play once. Unfortunately, I didn't watch all of it, and I hope it turned out better for that wizard's apprentice, but it didn't turn out very well for me. So, thank you for your help, but what are you doing in my laboratory?
Well, we found this box that may or may not have tuna fish in it.
Oh! It's like,
And we definitely haven't been stealing any coins. Not us.
oh, heavens
Totally
to
not.
Betsy! My lucky bolo tie! He whips off his hat and he presses his hand against the box, and in a flash of magic it opens, revealing a bolo tie with little silver tassels and a big piece of turquoise on it. He puts it on, and then he squishes down the top of his wizard's hat and says, I bet quite the cunning cowboy, don't you think? Yee-haw!
Sure!
When he says yeehaw, can I use prestidigitation to create, like, a shower of little cow-shaped confettis around him?
Yes, he does a happy little spin and like claps his hands and says, "Oh, quite a good show, quite a good show. I believe I promised a reward for this, didn't I?"
You did.
You did indeed.
Well, here you go.
Show us the money.
He hands each of you a gift card, good for one free sandwich at Raging Wolfric's Palace of Meat.
Does Raging Wolfric's Palace of Meat serve tuna fish sandwiches?
Yes, they do.
Can I bring Butterbean with us?
Butterbean walks in and says, "Oh, I suppose there wasn't tuna in that box. But if you're going to give me a sandwich, I'll come along if you'll carry me."
Of course! I will go and immediately pick up Butterbean.
Oh, he says, "Oh, and I suppose I should reward you for helping me with those brooms and that mop. I would have taken so long to get out of that scrape." And he hands Lau a little bag full of sapphires as a reward for helping him.
Ooh.
So much better than my mop.
Yes. Like, oh, believe me, I will never mop again. Ugh, it's too much work. Maybe next time I'll just enchant all of the dirt to throw itself away. That can't go wrong, can it?
No, I
Might
couldn't
be
see
better
what could
to-
possibly go wrong.
Yeah, you might want to look into getting a Swiffer instead.
Ooh. Oh, yes, I've seen those Broombas, they're called.
Yes!
You might look into some spells. I'm going to use prestidigitation to clean 1 square foot of his abode.
I would like to also do the same thing to clear another square foot of his abode. Learn to use Scourgify, dude.
At this rate, I'll have it cleaned within the year. Thank you very much for showing me the errors of my ways. With that, you guys go and take Butterbean with you, and you get some wonderful sandwiches at Raging Wolfric's Palace of Meats. the
Yes!
end of this
Woohoo!
little micro adventure.
And I got a bag of sapphires.
Yes, you've got a bag
think
of
you mean-
sapphires.
We got a bag of sapphires.
No,
Well,
I have a bag of sapphires. And I'm going back to my home of Devilstinkshire. You know,
At
we're
least
gonna
I got
put it in a
tuna
coffee
sandwich
can.
and butterbean.
Oh my!
So-
wow.
that was your
Okay, so
first game
So-
of Dungeons. Oh,
yes, it was. So that was a very short version, and how many of these scenarios have you created in as a dungeon master, Austin?
oh God,
Better
I've been
question, how
doing
many has
this
he
for-
created versus how many has he done?
Oh,
I've created more than I've done, and I've been doing this for like 15 years, so I have no idea how many, like hundreds.
So when you write a scenario like that, to take the cat for instance, when you're writing, do you write all the replies? Are you coming up with those on the fly, or how does that all work?
It is all improv. How I prepare is I will write down their name and a couple of little personality quirks, and then all of the dialogue and what they say is pretty much improvised.
Interesting. And so, in a more complicated game, I see there's a number of features, traits, and more under my character. And then
Yes.
there's also magic and special attacks, and then equipment and treasure. And so
Yeah.
this can get really involved, I suppose.
It can get very involved. That's why we decided to start with a first level character, because there's not so many features and you can go through stuff pretty quickly.
Ah,
But yeah, as you play more, usually games are like kind of serial in which the same characters will go through adventure after adventure, and they'll
I
get
see.
better stuff and get more powerful as they level up.
And the more you know your character, the better you can perform in the game, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah. I could definitely tell from Rachel and Devin, they knew to cast certain spells or do certain things because they have that experience. And it was nice playing with people that have already experienced the game because, boy, this goblin didn't know what he was doing. But I felt like I was still involved in playing along, and I
Yeah.
had fun.
Oh yeah. That's really the point, is to have fun over everything else.
Yeah. Well, so this is fascinating. If anyone out there in our audience feels like this is their cup of tea and just wants to give it a try, they could certainly go to the website, go to jocolibrary.org, of course, and go to events and just get into our calendar. If you just type in, even just dragons, Dungeons and Dragons, whatever you want, you'll come to it. And I see that coming up, let's see, Saturday the 25th, Saturday August the 1st, and Saturday August the 8th is what we have scheduled right now. All of those are 2 to 5. So I imagine those are longer campaigns then. I mean, that's like 3 hours.
Oh yeah, usually when we play it, usually a session goes anywhere from 3 to 4 hours. Sometimes if you've got like an entire day free to dedicate to it, you can do really long adventures that take all day.
And so we have a total of 7 seats for each of these. That seems like a lot of people.
That's a good amount of people, but it's not unmanageable.
Is it it's more the merrier, right? Yes, do yourself a favor and sign up for Dungeons and Dragons or check out our other online programs. But I want to thank Rachel and Devin and Austin for all showing me the way of Dungeons and Dragons. Did you all have fun?
Oh, I had a
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
blast.
we
great.
did.
That
I
was-
got to pet a cat.
oh, you did. And a tuna fish sandwich. I got a bag of That was some
And I
that was
played a
some good
really
stuff.
good metal.
Yeah.
And Austin, we got to hear a number of different voices from you. So
Yep. My bad accents, no bounds.
yeah, thank you all so much. And oh, I don't know that I'll play again, but I might.
Who knows? This might be a big smash hit, and you'll
Join
be
us
stuck
again,
with us
Lau.
forever.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think I'm gonna wrap it up and say thank you all very much.
Hey,
All
you're
right.
welcome. And thank
You're welcome.
For more episodes of Did You Hear, go to the Johnson County Library website, jocolibrary.org/didyouhear. Please, stay safe, everyone.